evening, lords and ladies. DJ Craigie here with the Progeny Behind the Fang podcast. Joining me, as always, my amazing wife and co-host Ming Chow and Neapolitan Wu. And tonight we have another top 10 for y'all. Our top 10 list of creepy supernatural creatures that will certainly bring you nightmares. Whether they come from folklore, the movies, legend, these creatures will have you checking under your bed at night and keeping your lights on all Halloween.
So first off, what is the word? Do they even exist? Well, according to Carolyn Larrington, a professor at Oxford, has pointed out that myths, legends, and folktales sometimes share similarities across continents and cultures. One important reason for this is that they are rooted in general human experience. Our shared biology and universally similar life cycles from birth, marriage, child rearing, aging, and death may generate broadly similar stories. However, Wiccan authors such as DJ Conway are of a different mindset and have written manuals and books to help people from every walk of life harness the energies and abilities of mythical and magical creatures. For such thinkers, these creatures have both symbolic and literal spiritual value. On that note, bring on the creatures!
And kicking off our list at number 10, we got the Ghoul. A ghoul is a supernatural creature that is often depicted as a demon-like being or monstrous humanoid. The concept originated in pre-Islamic Arabian religion and is associated with graveyards and the consumption of human flesh. As well, a ghoul can also be depicted as a human that has been bitten by a vampire, however, not received the blessing of the blood. In Arabic folklore, the ghoul is said to dwell in cemeteries and other dark and deathly places. The ghoul is also known as a grave robber and is portrayed in many tales, luring hapless characters, who are usually men, into their home where they can eat them. The term ghoul has been used in English literature since 1786 in William Beckford's Orientalist novel Vathek, which describes the ghoul of Arabic folklore.
Ooh, creepy. Coming in at number 9 is those black-eyed children. No, not the black-eyed peas, folks. These are black-eyed kids. Black-eyed children, or black-eyed kids, in American contemporary legend are paranormal creatures that resemble children between ages 6 and 16, skin and black eyes, who are reportedly seen hitchhiking or begging, or are encountered on doorsteps of residents. The intentions of black-eyed children are not clear, and there is no scientific evidence to support their existence. Oh, they said that about aliens too, and now go look, go figure. However, according to anecdotal reports, black-eyed children approach individuals and request or demand entry into their homes or vehicles. They appear as children, and the defining physical characteristic is that their eyes are solid black with no white showing. They often wear clothes that are outdated or wrong for the season and speak oddly as if it's not their native language. They can be very demanding and pushy and can appear and disappear without explanation. Some reports suggest that they exhibit psychic powers and can affect electrical devices and have an aura that disturbs animals. Don't answer that door. I tell you, look in the peephole first.
Definitely. You always gotta look. And coming in at number 8, we have a personal favorite of mine, the Hellhound. Now, Hellhounds are supernatural creatures that are often depicted as a monstrous dog, sometimes with multiple heads, leashed into the spiritual world. They are also known to serve demons and are described as demonic pit bulls that inspire fear in humans, demons, and even angels. Hellhounds occur in mythologies all around the world, with the best known examples being the Cerberus from the Greek mythology, Garmer from the Norse mythology and the black dogs of the English folklore, and the fairy hounds of the Celtic mythology. Physical characteristics vary, but are commonly black, overgrown, supernaturally strong, and have red eyes, multiple heads, and accompanied by many flames. So, thank goodness for those leash laws. You wouldn't want to come across a hellhound.
No way. I thought you'd like the pit bull part, though. All right, so I have to say this. This is a difficult one for me. Pontiac, one of the scariest ghost stories from around the world, is the story of the Pontiac. Don't throw eggs or tomatoes, folks. I'm from the South, okay? In Indonesian and Malay mythology, the Pontiac is a female spirit of a woman who died while pregnant. The Pontiac is a pale creature with long dark hair and red eyes, and while objectively frightening, she can transform into a beautiful woman to prey on men. She is said to appear at the full moon and feast on the bodily organs of her victims. Talk about spooky. I don't want to see that lady, that's for sure.
Me neither. So we're going to scurry on to number 6, where we have the Banshee. Originating in Irish folktales, the Banshee is a female spirit said to appear predicating the death of a loved one. She will wail or shriek to warn family members of the coming disaster. Physically, descriptions of the Banshee vary from 1-foot-tall old woman to a young woman to a white woman to a white ghost. But the shriek will always basically indicate the Banshee is near. That one thing you cannot get away
You don't want to hear that, folks.
One of the best movies that depict a Banshee is actually a Darby O'Gill movie from way back. It's quite scary. So make sure you avoid these creatures at all costs.
All right, coming in at number 5 is everyone's favorite, Boogeyman. Did you grow up thinking that if you didn't behave, the Boogeyman would get you? The Boogeyman was created with the sole purpose of scaring children into good behavior. Hey, kind of like Santa Claus. Because there are variations of the Boogeyman in every culture, it is difficult to pinpoint a place of origin. Furthermore, the appearance of the Boogeyman differs culturally, as he is sometimes depicted with horns, claws, talons, or hooves. However, the legend of the Boogeyman in all its variant forms is an almost a universal, terrifying myth.
And some even say it's me.
Yeah. Oh, really?
So coming in at number 4, we have a pop favorite, the zombie. And for anyone who likes horror films, you'll know that zombies have a long and varied history. All somewhat differ, but all somewhat the same. Not only in Hollywood, but in legend. Zombies originated in Haitian folklore with the Haitian French term zombie, or Haitian Creole zombie, used to describe a corpse reanimated through magic or other means. Across the years, zombie stories have shifted to meet current cultural fears and contexts. And bodies are often reanimated through viruses or other scientific processes, so modern day zombies. Zombie creatures that are often depicted in popular culture as undead beings that have arisen from the dead to feed on human flesh. They are often portrayed as slow-moving, unintelligent, and lacking almost in free will. However, the only will they have is to feed on your brains.
Hey, it's not like that detective on iZombie. No, she's very smart. So, coming in at number 3 is another terrifying one. It's called, oh, of course, okay, the Oni. I think that's how you say it, O-N-I. Oni. In Japanese myth, Oni are people who were so truly wicked in their lives that they transformed into demons in hell. Some were even bad enough to be transformed while still alive. These giant, scary monsters with red or blue skin, horns, and tusks are traditionally the servants of hell. They enact violent punishment on evildoers and will eat just about anything, including humans. While stories or depictions of Oni may vary, they are always seen as dangerous and powerful villains.
Ooh, another one I wouldn't want to come across. And here we are, folks. Coming in at number 2, we have werewolves. And where do I begin? First off, they are a widespread feature in European mythology, American mythology, I believe all over the world, from werewolf to lycanthrope to therianthrope. A werewolf is a human who is afflicted either with a curse or spell that makes them turn into a hybrid man-wolf during the full moon. Belief in werewolves developed during the Middle Ages. The history of the werewolf, or lycanthrope, is incredibly diverse, with stories from Germanic pagan cultures, Slavic, European, and classic Greek mythology. According to European folklore, a werewolf is an individual who can shapeshift into a wolf, or, especially in modern film, a therianthropic hybrid wolf-like creature, purposely or after being placed under the curse or affliction. And however, there must be a full moon. With the transformations occurring at night, obviously, the werewolf is a widespread concept in European folklore, existing in many variants which are related by common development of a Christian interpretation of the underlying European folklore developed during the medieval period. From the early modern period, werewolf beliefs are also spread to the New World and with colonialism. And I mean, I've heard of stories of werewolves, werebears, werepanthers. So, some say the lycanthrope or therianthrope can also transform into other different animals, depending on the race of the species. So, it's a very interesting concept.
It is. Well, that's definitely not like Jacob or Teen Wolf, I gotta say.
Oh, you know, Hellseed was the coolest wolf of them all.
He was pretty cool, actually. He was. So now for number 1, of course, we had to pick. Coming in at number 1, folks, the vampire. Everyone's favorite, and of course, Craig and I are impartial. So, the vampire. Over the years, vampires have taken many forms, and I don't mean just turning into bats. While the vampire myth originated in Europe, most cultures have folk tales surrounding vampiric creatures. The most predominant feature of vampires is the consumption of a person's vital essence, most often in the form of blood. It's interesting to note that the pale and sophisticated vampire, which has become commonplace in the media, did not exist before the 19th century. So there you have it, folks. Number 1, vampire.
And we all know that couldn't be farther from the truth. It's me.
And we did not romanticize anything here. This is cold hard facts.
Yes. And there you have it, folks. That's our top 10 creepy supernatural creatures that will certainly bring you nightmares this Halloween. So make sure you keep your lights on, make sure you slap that like and subscribe button, and tune in for more epic top 10s and some great podcasts on the way.
Happy fall, y'all. Good night.